Hello, friends. I hope y'all are doing great tonight. I see I have chicken scratched all over my grid sheet here. Basically, anything you see here that you might not be able to read, you can get the information in the information part of this YouTube video. While you're there, I would love it if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel. My name is Cogbill, and my business is called Paper Made Prettier, and I make things every Wednesday with Stampin' Up! Supplies. So I would love it if you join me each week to see my creations. Today, we are going to make a card very similar to this card that I made on my Stampin' Cruise. So if you've been with me for a while, you know that a few weeks ago, I was lucky enough to go on a Stampin' Cruise that I actually coordinated with my friend Sandy Reese. And we made 6 whole classes. This was one of the classes that we created. We made a set of pretty cards using the Let's Set Sail bundle. It's kind of a tongue twister if you ask me, but aren't these gorgeous? Yes. So I am going to show you how to make my favorite card that we made, and that is this sweet card here. I call it the Magic Cloud Border card because to me it just has a magic cloud border. It's not magic, it's easy. I'm going to show you how to do it. All right, so let's get started. We are going to actually make this card from start to finish tonight. Sometimes I have everything all cut and ready, and sometimes I'm at church and it goes long and you get to watch me make the whole card. So that's what we're doing tonight. I think it's good every now and then to see how cards are made from start to end. So we're going to start with a pool party base, which we're going to cut 4 1/4 by 11. This is already 11, so you're good there. And then score that at 5 1/2, which is right here. Remember, the gray blade is the scoring blade on your trimmer. So you've got that sweet little guy ready. And then you're going to need a piece that's 5 1/4 by 4 for that embossed piece. We're actually going to use 2 different emboss machines tonight. I've got to grab my full-sized emboss machine to use my embossing folder. Okay. One more. Well, I can't find the plate, but we'll skip that part. So you can see here that this is embossed with the subtle embossing folder. I love it. I just can't find the plate that we put to use the embossing folder right now, so we'll skip that. But suffice it to say, you pop this in your subtle embossing folder, run it through your machine, and it pops out this gorgeousness. So if you haven't experienced an embossing folder before, then you will want to do that. But we're going to use our star of the show tonight is our mini emboss machine. And we're going to do 2 fun things with it. We're going to cut out this frame. So actually, you're going to learn 2 things in one night. We're going to learn how to make a frame for a card, which is super fun and cute. Now, anytime you're working with your mini emboss machine, say hello, friends. I would love to know who's here. Say hello. Where are you from? I'm from Little Rock, Arkansas, and can I tell you, it was 72 degrees today, which goodness only knows why I am wearing my heavy jacket. It takes me a while to transition into summer or spring here. But gorgeous day, gorgeous day. So I hope wherever you live that it's warming up a bit. It was warming up a bit here. All right, so to make this, well, I'll show you first. To make this sweet frame, you're going to take a 3.5-inch piece of cardstock, just big enough for this die from our stitch rectangle die, and then you're going to nest this one right inside of it, and then you're going to put your other plate right on top. I dropped it, not ideal. And you know what, I'm going to make this easy on us and show you a little tip when you're using your emboss machine. If you've got something that's kind of that you need to be real careful with, like this, then you can slap a post-it note across the whole thing, and that will help things not shift around. So now we're going to line this all up great. So we've talked about this last time, and I'm telling you again, this emboss machine is fabulous, but you do have to have these plates lined up well. Okay, they don't like to not be lined up, but once they're lined up, you can really run it through here. Do I have an extra something in here? Let's see. It's not being friendly to me today. I think that this die might be too big for it. It's not, it is lined up. Let me try it. All right, I just can't get good leverage on it. I had to put it on the floor. When I'm at the table with this camera above me, I just can't get it started, but I promise you, it's a rolling here. I just had to put it on the carpet. I don't have a non-stick pad on the table, but that does help. Okay, now I'm not sure this is going to work because this die meets the absolute limit of the mini emboss machine. It did. So here's our cute little frame. We're going to just trim that off. All right, so this is just almost too big for our emboss machine, but it worked great. Okay, so we've got our little frame. You can see here. Now, I did choose to use Misty Moonlight today because we're having a moment. Because if you know Stampin' Up, you know that we have end colors, and that means that our end colors come and go. And our sweet Misty Moonlight has been around for a year now. And so 2 years, sorry. And so it is about to be retired. So if you have Misty Moonlight, then you need to protect your investment and make sure and get all of the refills and the things that you need in your Misty Moonlight collection. So the refills, the designer paper, the cardstock, to make sure that you can still use your Misty Moonlight as long as you want to. All right, now we are going to get a piece of white cardstock and cut that down to size. Now our what you may call this frame is 3.5 by almost 4 3/4, but I can see that 4.5 by 3 1/4 should work. So let's cut a piece of white down to 4.5 by 3 1/4 and see where we are. As soon as I just kind of guesstimate and then trim or start over, depending on if I went too big or too small. All right, so let's see how this goes. Perfect. Okay, so that's going to go behind there perfectly. Now, we are going to start by stamping our water. So let's talk about how we're going to do that. It is with the Let's Set Sail stamp set. It comes with a bundle. You absolutely have to get the bundle. It is $31.50, which is a deal to get the punch and the stamp set that go together. So absolutely get them both. But we're going to use this stamp from the Let's Set Sail collection, and that stamps the water. And we're going to stamp that in Pool Party. I love Pool Party water. It's just like the color that was made for water. Okay, so we are going to stamp that right along the bottom edge there. And then we can do another layer of water, even maybe stamping off a bit here. So we've got some water. Now, I don't like that white part there, so we're just going to fill it in. And anything that you don't like, you can just kind of go in and add some more layers to it with this water stamp. So now I'm very happy with the way this looks. Now, we are going to use our die called the Basic Borders die. This die is something that I've had for a very long time. I got it when the annual catalog came out, so now almost a year ago. And I've used it quite a bit, especially this little zigzag die. I've used quite a bit to make some Christmas projects here. See, I made like a rickrack. I've used this. I've used this angled one. And I don't know why I haven't used this this one that makes clouds. So you can, well, it makes a cloudy border, but you can also use it to make what I would call a cloud stencil. Okay. So we are going to take a piece of cardstock. Let me just see if this is long enough. Yes, plenty long. And we are going to run it. First, we have to get it 3.5. Our magic size to slide through our emboss machine. And we will run it through. So I like to slap my things all over the table where you can't see them. Okay, so you're going to set your little cardstock. Now, all your goal is just to get this on one of the edges here. And we're just using the borders die to make a template so that we can use it to, what do you call it? Use our blending brushes to make our cloud background. So first we're going to run this sweetie through. I love my mini emboss machine. Now, it's normally $60, which is a deal in my opinion, but for this month during the Savings and Bloom special, it's only $48. So what a deal. If you don't have a mini emboss machine, now is the time. It is the smallest footprint of anything. It's great to have around on your table. It doesn't take up so much space. You can travel with it. So like if I go to a retreat or go hang out with my sister, we like to go stamp in hotel rooms and things, then you can take it. Now, I want to make a cloud border that looks like this, but I also want to make one that is offset from that. Okay. And you'll see what I mean here. Let me see if I can explain it to you. Like you can see these two cloud borders look pretty similar. Sorry. These two look pretty similar. So I wanted to make a cloud border that was really different than the other one. And so I'm going to put my thing over here. And this really is more important on a card where it takes up more space on the card. This one, you could actually just use 2 areas of your cloud border to do it. But another card that I made yesterday had such a big cloud background that I needed to make kind of 2 different cloud borders. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that now. But really for this card, you could get away with just the one. So now we're just going to take this thing and line it up with where our other cut left off. You can see there. And that way we'll have 2 borders, dies that are different. I think I'm going to cause myself trouble there. It's not liking what I've done. Let me run it through the other way. There we go. Okay. So you have got now 2 borders to choose from, and they can not look so uniform when you're blending. Okay. Messed up my whole place here. All right. Say hello if you're watching. I'd love to say hello, learn where you're from. I'd love it if you subscribe to my YouTube channel. I love putting up videos every week, and love it when we have new people join us. All right, so what you're going to do now is this is where your water is. You're going to go a little bit up from that, lay down your borders die. You're going to use a blending brush. This one's kind of dedicated to blue. And we're going to pick up some balmy blue. I did not use Pool Party here because I wanted to distinguish it from the water. Now, tip when you're using a blending brush, start off on the side and then move on to your paper so that you don't get a touch mark, okay? And you're going to think, well, that's not enough. That's not enough. But when you pick up your white, you can see how cool that is. Now, if I were to put this straight down again, then it's going to make a cloud border that looks just like that. So I want to shift it. I'm going to shift it over this way. And that way my clouds can look different. They're not uniform because, of course, we know clouds are not uniform. Cool. So now we're just going to shift it up another. Let's shift it over this way. Oh, see, I didn't go off the side there, and I got a little bit too dark there. That's okay. Handmade, right? All right, so it gets darker as it goes up there. And then I'm just going to do one more. And this is, I'm going to go ahead and flip it around. And we're going to do this pretty dark since it's up at the top. That's just my preference. You don't have to do that. You can do them all the same shade, but I like for them to be sort of like ombre. So darker as they go up. And then you see how this line is super white? I'm just going to come in and tiny bit darken it up a smidge. I don't like it to be stark white. Okay. So I just put a little layer of Pool Party on there. Isn't that fantastic? Okay. Now we're going to stamp our so get the basic borders dies. They're $29. There's so many things that you can do with them. 155, 5, 1, 4 5s and an 8 is the item number. There's so many things that you can do with it. Not the least of which is the background. Okay, now we're going to make our stamp set sing. All right, we have a little stamp that is I call it the base of the boat. And we are going to use a dark brown. Let's go with soft suede here. I think soft suede is a great color. We're going to stamp our now our boat's in the water, right? So don't stamp it up here. It's not floating in the air unless you're watching a science fiction show, and that's perfectly fine. I'm going to put your little boat there. And it's so dark that it doesn't matter that there's clouds here. Now, if you want to stamp directly, which is what we did here, then use a dark color because you're going to not want that cloud stuff to show through. But I'm going to show you one of the best features of the bundle, and that's the punch. All right, so we are going to punch out our sails with Misty Moonlight. So we're just going to punch, and you're going to get 2 pieces. Now, something that I learned after I made a whole set of swaps with this is it's a lot easier to assemble these with dimensionals. Now, you can stick these down with glue dots if you want it to be sort of one-dimensional, but why would we want our boat to be one-dimensional, right? We want it to be pop. So we're going to pop that up with dimensionals, which are not in front of me. Let me grab some. All right. So all you need to assemble your little boat is to put one here. And then just line that right up to the mast or whatever that thing's called. You sailors will know all these things. And then we put this one here. Okay. Fantastic. All right. Now, you could, yep, that's going to work great. You could stamp, you know, these little birds, which are in the Let's Set Sail set. And I have them here. They're right in front of me, which is why I couldn't find them. And we're going to go ahead and use the soft suede again. They're going to be brown birds. And they're just floating through the sky. You can do a couple sets of them. So cute. All right, now we need our best day ever. So what we did here is we played a little trick on our stamp. So if you'll look, the stamp set itself says, hope it's your best day ever. Okay, which is fine. It can say that, but we want it to say best day ever. So we are going to ink up just the part of it that says best day ever. So you can see how it says hope it's your and then best day ever. We're gonna carefully. This is what's cool about these clear stamps. So we're just going to stamp that part. That is the best day ever. Now, you may get a smidge right on that little Y that hangs down. I just choose to wipe it off with my thumb. If you try to wipe it off with a towel, you're going to make a mess. And then I almost always have strips of white on my table, which I do have today. So I'm just going to grab one. And I'm going to stamp the best day ever. That's it. Do you see how we did that? Fantastic. Now I'm going to trim that down because it just looks weird. It's got a little too much extra white there. Perfect. And we're going to go ahead and trim that here. All right. And I still have a little bit of extra there. I don't like it. And I did that a little crooked, didn't I? All is well. Okay. Now we're going to assemble our sweetie. We're going to take our pool party base and we are going to pop that down and we are going to assemble our sweet little frame over our project. So the way that we do that is line it up. Now there's all kinds of different ways that you can do this. If you've got quite a border around there, which I do, then I like to use just tear and tape without unsticking it. Does that make sense? So I'm just coming in with my tear and tape and I'm just using it as tape. Okay. No one knows what's going on behind your card. It's fine. All right. So that's that. And then we're going to stick 4 dimensionals on the corners. Now this also helps stick that little piece to its frame because you can catch the frame and the innards in one dimensional. Okay, and we are going to pop this down to our sweet card like so. And then we're going to pop our best day ever on with dimensionals. I'm going to stick one on this edge and then let's see. I think what I'm going to do is the old wait to see where it lands. Actually, let's do this. Let's stick it here and stick that there. And then that way we won't have to guess. And that's going to go right over to the edge of our card. Isn't that so cute? I love it. I love it. So you can see you can either stamp directly as I did here, or you can punch it up with your punch. And that's fantastic. So again, I'll show you some other cards that we made on the cruise using this stamp set. You can punch up different colors and have multicolored sails. You can even punch up the mast in a different color. And look at how great these little stars coordinate. This is another borders die that we used here from the basic borders set. And you can see it's right here. So that creates a lot of cool visual interest for your cards. So love it. And you can also stamp and punch. So this is what we did here. You can have an all white boat, bring in some different paper. I love how there's a stamp in there that makes the reflection of the boat. So that's really cool, a cool feature of the set. A slimline card because slim lines are cool. Love it. All right. So let me talk to you about some other things real quick. You want to make sure and sign up for my Masculine Birthday Card Club, which is also featuring the boats. So I'm just going to pop my cards in here for you to catch a gander at so that you would love to sign up to make these fun cards. When you come to my card class, it's called the Masculine Birthday Card Club. Well, it's a birthday card club. This is the third in a series of 4. You can start at any point. So you can start in the third one, which is right now, and you'll get to make all those masculine cards, 8 of them. You can take this class on the 27th of March at my house or to go. So both are great. I have the same numbers of both typically. You'll get all the stuff to make 8 cards plus designer paper, embellishments, and another surprise in your packet that you're going to love. So sign up for that. There's a link to sign up for it in the information of this video. Also, don't forget about the Savings in Bloom special. And that is how you will get your mini emboss machine, which is only $48, normally $60. But don't forget all the other cool bundles that are part of the Savings in Bloom special. You've got flowers, trees, lots more flowers, butterflies, fish, and ocean things, peaches, cats, cooking, and a window. And you need to use the numbers on this sheet to order, or go to stampinup.com to the link that I've provided, and it'll take you right to the Savings in Bloom section so that you'll see what is there. Okay, and lastly, if you want to get the Let's Set Sail bundle, the basic border dies, and the mini emboss machine, and still have $16 to spend, you can take advantage of our starter kit, which is you can get $125 in items for $99 with no shipping. Okay, that's the best deal in the catalog, and that is what most of my customers take advantage of. So I have about 5 customers that teach classes, and the other 70 are happy shoppers, which you can be as well. So you can get this on a starter kit. You do get the sale price, and your future purchases will be 20% off. So that's what's the best thing about being a happy shopper. All right. Glad you joined me, and I appreciate it. We will see you next week. Bye-bye.